Greetings in Jesus' name from wherever you're getting us from. This is the interaction session where we talk about issues that concern the human being, female or male. Otherwise, we are coming to you live from Kenya, the capital city, Nairobi. This is Nairobi Happy Church, located or rather situated along Haile Selassie Avenue, KFA building, 3rd floor. And our vision is taking the city for Jesus. Without further ado, my name is Veronica, and today I also have a panelist with me. But I won't take much of your time, but I'll go straight to the introduction. And on my immediate left is none other than Mr. Lionel Wandera. Please say hi to the viewers.
Hello to you and welcome to the session.
Thank you very much. On his left is none other than Sylvester Ameyo. Mister, please say hi to the viewers.
Hi, viewers.
Thank you very much. On his left is Mr. Robert Ageng'o. Say hi.
Hello, viewers.
Thank you very much. And on the extreme left is Pastor Job Kim Wanyonyi, who is our youth pastor, or rather an Eagles pastor in Nairobi Happy Church. Please say hi to the viewers.
Hello, viewers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. And now we go straight into the questions, where we are today exhausting the topic man. We talked about it a fortnight ago, but we want to exhaust it, and we have so many other questions in regard to the human species called man. And I will start straight ahead with Pastor Job Kim Wanyonyi. Yes, there is a question that you were answering before we ran out of time last time, and it's about the bringing up of the female and the male children. Why is it that it is so much concentrated that the female children are supposed to be home, for example, by 6, but the man is left outside there to come back at 8 or maybe 9? Why do you think that is the case?
Thank you once again, Veronica.
You're welcome.
Yeah, as she has said, a fortnight ago, we had begun on this topic of man. And the third question that she's raising, we didn't deal with it in completion as per last session. But now, the question is still posed on us. The thing is, as I said last time, in the society, it is like the girl child. They have placed a lot of premium on her upbringing than the boy child, in the sense that it seems like the girl child, as I said the last time, it is because of how we view the girl child in terms of physique. If we look at them as being fragile vessels, delicate vessels. So that is why most of the time we place a lot of premium in their upbringing. We need to protect them wherever they are. And something else that I also want to add is about the coaching. I happen to be in the sports industry, and one thing I've learned, like the players, for them to be trained, most of the time they have to be in the field.
Yes.
For them to be coached by the trainer, so that to know what they are supposed to display. And that is also the same thing, the way we have taken the girl child in our society.
Okay.
Because, like we say, they are mostly destined to be in the house. And now for them to be able to know the things they are supposed to do in the house, they have to be there all the time.
Okay.
So that they can be taught on how to take care of the house, possibly in terms of grooming, in terms of cooking. And that is why most of the time they are supposed to be around where they are supposed to be taught.
Yes.
Or to be trained.
Do you agree with what Pastor has said, Mr. Lionel?
Well, first of all, once again, I've been introduced, and I thank God for this opportunity that I've been given. Now, I agree with Pastor that ladies are supposed to be at home, to be trained and to be groomed. But then you see now, with the changes that come in the society, with the changes that we have in the society, it becomes very hard for that lady to continue being at home, to continue being the home, the person who actually now nurtures the home and makes sure that everything is happening. But at the same time, even in the sports industry, as he has mentioned, is that you find even currently now, we have ladies who are actually sports people who are doing so very well in regards to sports. And you also find that even in the acumen of, in terms of now, even like today, we are having you here as one of the moderators, actually as the moderator for for this particular show. So it becomes paramount that even as we train them, let them understand that at the end of the day, yes, you have a role to play.
Yes.
But then, as much as you have a role to play, what more are you giving to the society?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if you're giving something to the society, you as a lady, you have a lot to carry.
Yes.
Because when you become pregnant, the man does not become pregnant. It is you, the lady, who becomes pregnant. So at the beginning of it all, you have a nurturing instinct in you as a lady. Some of them have evaded that particular fact, and they're like, I cannot take care of my child. I will give them none. I will give them these other additives for them to be able to do whatever they're supposed to do, so that the child can actually grow. But then you see, you are a lady. So the curfew, going back to the curfew, is that you are a lady, and so therefore you have a nurturing instinct in you. You are a mother from the beginning.
Yes.
So whether you like it or not, you may want to run away from it, but truly speaking, you cannot, because that is what is inbuilt in you as an individual, first of all. And that is why, for the man, on the other hand, the man is a hunter. He is actually supposed to be out there providing for his family.
Okay.
So whether he likes it or not, he has no choice but to go out there and search. So if he comes home early, for example, at the same time when the lady comes home, because the lady comes back home to start cooking and doing all these other things. So if he also comes home at the same time, who is bringing the meat?
To be cooked.
Thank you.
All right. So, I mean, Mr. Ameyo, what do you have to say about this? Does hunting begin when a man is still a boy, and then it goes up to when they're married and old?
Yeah, exactly. You see, as a man, when you're growing up from boyhood into manhood, you're being trained and passing through stages to become a man or a father or a parent. Then this means that at some stage, you're not a parent, or you're not a father, or you're not a husband, but already you are into the activity of progress, of carrying out responsibilities dedicated to a man or a father or a parent. And that means that before marriage, you can still be carrying out what your father is doing at some point.
So in other words, it's a form of responsibility, shaping a man to be responsible, right?
Yeah, somebody is being shaped up.
Okay, and they've talked about cooking. I've heard Pastor saying cooking, and Mr. Lionel has also said that how can a man be home early because they are supposed to bring in the meat, and then there's somebody to cook. Mr. Robert, can a man cook for their family? Maybe you can go home at 7 in the evening, and then maybe your wife is still at work or something. Is it okay for a man to cook for their whole family?
Thank you once again for this opportunity to be back to this show. Before I answer your question, I just want to mention on the first question.
Sure.
And to just back whatever the panel has said. And see, the Bible says in Titus chapter 5 verse 2, it depicts a woman as somebody who used to be home and take care of her home. And the Bible also says that a woman can build his home with his own hands and destroy it.
Yes.
So naturally, a woman is supposed to be groomed, knowing that his biggest responsibility is to keep a home. And that's why most of the time they are at home for that process, for that similar process, mostly by their parents, whom they are just passing it over to their daughters. And again, girls are endangered species out there. They're being preyed by us men. So it's also, yes, we are hunters. They're being preyed by us men, or hunting, sorry, for the particular purpose. So what I'm trying to put across is just for their security and safety, they are also encouraged to be home on time and to be cautious when they're out there, that they should be in a safe environment. Coming back to cooking, I love cooking, and anytime I'm available and able and at home, I cook. I cook, and we cook together because it's something that I do love. And I want to also look at it, the biblical side of it.
Yes.
Because the Bible talks about great men in the Bible who went ahead and even cooked. When you look at Jacob, the Bible talks about Jacob in Genesis chapter 25, that he was at home and he had prepared a delicious stew, delicious soup. So when Esau came back, he was famished, he was tired, and yes, and what he needed was food.
Yes.
So Jacob gave food to Esau. And looking at it, similarly Esau again, the father sends him that go and prepare a delicious meal for me. Bring it and I will bless you. So men can cook. And there is nothing wrong with men cooking. In Acts, somewhere in Acts, I think chapter 4, the Bible talks about, it calls men, in fact it talks about deacons. And they were looking for people who will replace the women because women were out there cooking and they were supposed to be ministered to. And the Bible says that they had to choose 7 wise men. The Bible says to choose 7 wise men filled by the Spirit, great people to go and set a table. So even cooking, it's a depiction that you're a wise man.
Yes.
And there is nothing wrong with cooking at home and even learning how to cook other meals.
Yes.
And doing it with your wife and for your family. It's something that I don't see if it's a big issue.
Well, thank you very much. And there's some people I know of, I've met different kind of men, and they're like, me, step in the kitchen, never. It cannot happen. Where I come from, at least we've been given a biblical background by Mr. Robert, but there are some people, especially in the African culture, I've seen white men do the cooking, and Mr. Robert here says he also does the cooking. And so, but the black man, I mean, where I come from, why am I supposed to be in the kitchen? No. So are you supposed to die hungry, Pastor, because Mom Lydia Kim is not home yet? What do you have to say about it?
Thank you, Veronica. Anyway, the way we have said, in different cultures, they view cooking by man as something strange. I have not established, but I've heard it. Like the Marians, they are not supposed to be in the kitchen. As a man, you're not supposed to be in the kitchen. Even your mother will just cook for you food and then he brings you for in your cottage, something like that. Personally, I cook.
Yeah, I am a witness.
I cook.
Yes.
In fact, last night I cooked. My wife is here, she can be able to testify on that.
Great.
Sometimes it's a challenge because of the ego and the way we've been raised up, where we've come from.
Yes.
That is what brings out the challenge in terms of cooking. But I look at I did like this. You go to hotels. Most of these hotels are across the globe.
Yes. Chefs.
And their food is so sweet. And their mel.
Yes, the chefs. Most of them, they are men.
Yes.
But I wonder when we come to our houses, what happens?
I know.
Possibly when we are walking out from our places of work to our houses, we normally meet with a certain demon somewhere. So that when we enter into our houses,
something happens. But personally, I love to cook. Wow, that is true.
There is no problem with cooking as a man. Because my wife is not there that I sleep hungry.
I mean,
or
that's
my
what
children
I'm
sleep hungry. No.
Yeah, okay.
I cook.
Mr. Ameyo, you are living alone and you're a man. Do you cook? Because at least them, they have wives. They can say, I'm not going to the kitchen and I'm not going to do that. But what about yourself? Do you eat out or do you cook?
I think from the onset, I need to understand this question, cooking, how it's being interpreted. Because one, I know there's a cooking as a profession. And then two, now there's a cooking in a homestead.
Not as a profession, as a man. You being Ameyo the man, do you cook?
Because some of the examples that have been given, like in a hotel, you discover that that one you cannot rule out that a man can't cook, and he's cooking as a profession. That's why when this man leaves his profession, now on his way to the house,
the demon attack.
Okay.
Because now he's from job.
Yes.
He's not from cooking. This man is coming from job to get a bread for the family. So I think that is the difference.
Okay.
Coming up with the cooking issue in a homestead or in an African society, per se you quoted a black man, you see the way our fathers were brought up. The way our fathers were brought up was boy child is to do the hard job. Go to the farm,
Take
look
care of
after
cattle,
cattle,
yes.
and do the farming. That
Splitting of the wood.
yeah. And the girl child was specifically to prepare the homestead.
Yes.
Food,
Clean
cleaning,
the house.
washing. So it's not even all about cooking, even washing. Where hell in an African home, you'll find a man washing. It wasn't possible.
No, it wasn't. But what about now? Because times are changing. And
Now-
like, for example, yourself, you're living alone. Do you hire somebody to come wash your clothes?
Now,
Do you eat out because you're a man?
now things are changing. In my case, I'm washing myself. I'm
You
cooking
wash.
for myself.
Great.
But we have some young men who still believe in the way their fathers were led up, who are still bringing people to wash for them. They'll hire ladies to come and wash for them.
Yes.
They will eat in the hotels just because that African old way of living
Is still
Still in
embedded
them.
in them.
still in them. But because of the changing technology
Yes.
and issues with the income, I think that idea is fading.
Really?
It's fading.
Wow, great. Mr. Lionel, I see you nodding. Do you agree with what he's saying, or you have a different opinion?
My point has always been this. As he is alone, he cooks, he does his dishes, he does everything
Yes.
as a man.
Yes.
So when you get a lady to your life, this person becomes a helper.
Yes. To help you.
So this person becomes a helper.
Yes.
You're not giving them the full obligation of telling them, now, because you have come, I will go look for food and look for things and make sure you are comfortable. Your work is to cook, wash, bear children. And then secondly, like he has also mentioned, the economy currently. The economy currently cannot allow us, it's not very easy to allow us that we can say, now, I am the only person who can do the provision. We have got to assist each other here.
Absolutely.
Education has become very expensive, which is very paramount to everyone.
Yes.
Health has become very expensive, which is also very paramount to everyone.
Yes.
And also clothing at the end of the day, because we want to also dress up like other people in the world, we tend to see, because we want to be like other people, so we acclimate ourselves to that particular level. And because of that, then therefore it is important that we assist each other.
Assist.
When it comes to cooking now, personally I cook. Like Robert says, by the way, I love cooking. I actually prepare food for my family and everything. I do it.
Yes, yes.
The other thing is that when it comes to cooking, my dad a few years back, that is like around 10 years back, I asked him, how come you never go to the kitchen? And he literally said, I don't even know where that kitchen exists.
Okay, all right.
And yet the funny thing is, when he was building the house, he actually petitioned a place for the kitchen.
Yes.
So you end up asking, okay, so what exactly do you mean that you don't even know where the kitchen is? But the day he himself went to the kitchen and prepared a meal, it was the most delicious meal ever.
Awesome.
So you can imagine that us as men, we may say, yes, we don't know where the kitchen is because of our culture.
Yes.
But when we come to the present and current life that we are living in, we accept the reality.
Correct.
Go to the kitchen, do what you're supposed to do. Make sure you eat yourself.
Yes.
And also the people who are around you get to eat.
Wow, I'm seeing this from another dimension. Not only cooking, but you don't know where the kitchen is. This is awesome. Well, we continue. Something, Pastor, you've mentioned about ego. And I want us to talk about ego. Sometimes, okay, not sometimes, always, each man has an ego. We are seated here and we have 4 men. All of you have an ego, yes? Why is that ego most of the time wounded? For example, if you have a fiancé or a wife who is more graced than you, who is more talented than you, maybe more educated than you are. They earn a 6-figure salary, and yours maybe is a 3-figure salary. Why is it that most men get wounded, Robert?
Ego. Definitely, every man has an ego.
Yes.
And we protect it with all of our strength. And I'd say that you've talked about having a woman who earns more than you, who is raised, maybe more educated.
They are a step ahead of you in
and a step
terms
ahead
of
life. In terms of life. Looking at it at my own dimension, I'd say that, you know, a man is automatically wired to provide. That is where our ego, in fact, is more strong.
Okay, in provision.
Because we need to provide.
Yes.
We need to provide and to keep this family going. And to keep those people who depend on us going.
Yes.
So there is the aspect of reverse role. A reverse role when your wife or when your woman is earning more than you, or a bit in life is above you.
Yes.
You know, your role has been taken. And that thing will definitely affect you.
Yes.
Because you'll feel like, okay, as much as now maybe we have a joint account and she gives me the money, but the fact still remains, she's covering expenses. Expenses of that. Not even a larger. Let me tell you, even if you are a man and you're covering 60% and your wife is covering 40%, it's still an issue.
Okay,
still disturbing you. Still an issue. And that's why you'll find most men tell their wife that you just use your money, keep it for doing other things.
Yes.
But this is not to say that women should not assist their husbands. They should not chip in. They should not come in.
Yes.
Because life keep on turning around.
Yes.
And men, again, when it comes to this, they also need to they need to adjust. They need to understand that in life there's ups and downs. And let that woman not show that indeed it's me doing this, it's me doing that, and me doing this.
Yes.
But above all, what is just here is that the ego does not allow us to sit and watch as the woman takes up this role.
Yes.
And takes up the role of a man in that family.
So,
because that's our mandate.
Thank you very much. So does it mean a woman also has a part to play when her man is insecure, Lionel?
Oh my goodness, she has a very big part to play.
Please say something about it.
Because they will agree with me if, like you said, like Robert has said, that when you are higher, you as a lady, when you are earning higher than your man, or you are more like in the public eye. In the public eye, you're seen to be somebody of influence.
Yes.
When you come home, remove that helmet, remove that crown of you being the person out there.
Yes.
This is your man. He is the leader in the home.
Yes.
And him being the leader in the home, the way you expect respect
from outside
and
there,
honor and all that when you're outside that door,
yes,
is the same thing that he expects when you step in. So at any particular point in time, when you as a lady or even as a man, if you cannot also show this lady love, then definitely this respect will not come. Because though in the Bible it says that you should actually love, it doesn't say because you're receiving respect, so therefore love.
Yes.
And if you're receiving respect, so therefore you should love. No, it just says love. So if you're going to love, then just love. But at the same time, because we are human beings and our egos, as one of us has already said, we actually get hurt. So when you come and show us that, you know what, I'm a lady, I'm earning more than you, I'm the one who can, I'm doing all these things. The moment you step that line, you've killed that man. Sure. Completely. Even the honor and the respect that he would give you and the support that you would actually expect him to give you when you go out there, it will not be there anymore. And secondly, when it comes to now you as a man earning less than your woman, there are very many ways of communicating in between you two so that you can be able to have a stable relationship at the end of the day. But the thing about it is, even you as a man, understand that you are a man, and you earning less does not change who you are, does not change your stand as a man, does not change your acumen as a man. You are still the provider, you are still the man in that particular family, you are still the one who makes the rules and regulations, as much as is somebody else earning the money. But set the rules and sit down and agree.
Pastor, what do you have to say about that?
I will agree with what they have said.
Okay.
The only things most of the time, possibly men, they seem to be bothered with. Sometimes when a lady is more educated in terms of career, earning more, there is always sometimes the issue with submission.
Yes.
The issue of submission sometimes has been hard. The way they are saying, like Lionel is saying, Robert is saying, when you are out there, pleased with your position, let it stay outside there.
Yes.
But once you come to the house, know that you are the wife to somebody, and there are things that you are supposed to do. So most of men sometimes they have got that insecurity because of submission. It has been found some of the ladies or our women, some of them when they earn more or they are more educated than we are, submitting is always a problem. And the moment when submission enters into the house, it's like now you are having two centers of power.
Yes.
Something that can never happen.
Never.
It becomes a demon.
It can never happen. So, as they are saying, it is good just to understand.
Yes.
Let us understand one another. Let us share as a couple in that house. It is not that our positions that they are going to place us where we are. No. Let love prevail,
Yes.
and let submission come in. And as the way he has put it very rightly.
Yes.
There is nowhere it is written in the Bible, I have to love you before you submit. No. There is nothing like that. The Bible just says a man should love, and the wife should submit.
Yes. Correct. So do you think in some families there's wife battering and there's so many wrangles because maybe the wife is not submissive? Do you think that contributes, Pastor, to some misunderstanding? Because there's some women that I've met and they say, when my husband beats me up, now that is a sign of love. Because you guys have brought in an aspect of love and submission. And there's some women who literally told me that if my husband does not beat me, that man has an affair. That man does not love me. Yeah, I'm so serious. So I really want to know, I mean, why is that? Do you agree with that? Is that just some sort of fallacy somewhere?
I think it is, anyway, I've had it where I come from.
Okay.
Yeah. Even when I was growing up, I think by my grandees, sometimes that is why they told my grandpas.
Yes.
If you don't beat your wife,
There's no love.
there is no love.
Okay.
But to me, that is a fallacy.
Okay.
Yeah, it is just something people have built, and then they want to work on it. Sometimes when somebody wants to release their stress, they are come out from outside there.
Yes.
Possibly they are stressed somewhere. When they come into the house, possibly things are not working the way they want to do.
Yes.
They want to lay the blame on the wife, and in the process, or they want to cause something so they can be out of that house.
Yes.
But in the way you have asked, submission has really played in the part of males pattering their wives. It has played a very big role.
Wow.
Yeah. As a wife, please know what you are supposed to do as a house. I know we are supposed to help one another.
Yes.
But sometimes there are things you will ask. Things have been said here, and we have heard them in terms of counseling.
Yes.
If I come to the house, I know you have come from work. Possibly I've also come from people, or I was within around. If I ask you for water to go and bathe, you tell me you know where the kitchen is.
Yeah, you know where the kitchen is, you know where the towel is,
where the towel
you know
is
where...
You see, there are people who can...
And there's a tone to it.
There are men who can... The males who can be able to stomach that.
Yeah.
They can connect themselves, they can have that self-control. But the others who cannot be able to take up that one.
Kabisa.
So most of the wrangles, most of the time, in our contemporary society, is as a result of submission.
Submit on the part of the wife.
On the part of the wife.
Mr. Ameyo, let me ask you something. But let me first ask Mr. Lionel. He has talked about blame games. Blaming the wife, finding something to blame your partner. And I want to talk about childlessness right now. Why is it that most men, in this case, that you are married, but there's no baby. First year, second year in marriage. And somehow, let me talk more of the African culture, because I see this and this is where I've grown in.
Yes, yes.
It is either, people now start looking at the woman. What is wrong with protrude, as in the outside forces now become your business. The third year, the fourth year, the fifth. Why is it that it's the woman that is mostly blamed when it comes to being childless?
Well, when it comes to that, the issue about it is this. You know, for a man, it is known, so long as you have come, more specifically, so long as you have ejaculated, then therefore there should be a product.
Baby. Okay.
So, and you see, initially, we did not have the scientific understanding of it all, and we did not know what really happens. But then now, currently, we have that understanding.
Yes.
That at the end of the day, as much as you're ejaculating, it does not mean that now that will produce a baby. There has to be. It's a whole scientific understanding process out of it. So we cannot continue to go back to those cultural understanding that why are you married and all this time we are not seeing a baby and all these things, and now we are blaming the woman for it. Sometimes it's the man. It's the man. He does not have enough the sperm count is not there. Maybe he has been grown. He has been brought up very well and is doing very nicely. But then you see, maybe there are some things that he's not eating very right, and that is the lifestyle probably is not right.
Yes.
So that is where the problem comes in. If I may just touch on something that Pastor has mentioned on in terms of submission. When it comes to submission, and the man goes out there to hunt and to look for stuff and then comes back home.
Yes.
He's coming back home to a place of peace. He's coming back home to a place whereby he is accepted. He's coming back home to a place whereby he is being told, as much as you've been beaten by the world, come, I will embrace you.
I am here for you.
I am here for you. Now, this man comes home and he's received at the door with batters of words.
Yes.
And you see, he doesn't have any other place to go. So what does he do? We as friends, you can ask the men, when we kosana, or when you have an issue, we'll not fight, we'll walk away. We'll walk away. But because when we have an issue and we are friends and it's becoming too much, then we'll go into fists. Why? Because I don't want to lose him. And I want respect to continue being there. So we'll fight. So when this lady comes in with words, what happens? I do not have words to take back to the woman. I will shut you down.
How?
I will quiet you down with my fivefold ministry.
Okay. All right, I hear you.
Not because of anything, because I cannot walk away from you.
Yes.
You are my safe haven.
Yes.
I can't walk away from you. If it was a man and we're out there, I will walk away because he's my friend. And I don't want to lose that friendship. But because this is a lady and this is the person who is supposed to be receiving me at home,
Yes.
fivefold ministry will work.
will work.
And then you'll keep
It
quiet
will
for some
descend.
time. For some time.
Mr. Robert, do you agree with what Mr. Lionel is saying? Do you really have to use the fivefold ministry?
I want to. Okay, I want to not really agree. I want
No,
to
it is
disagree.
okay. It is allowed to,
It's allowed,
to
it's
agree
allowed.
to disagree.
Yes, I really want to disagree with that.
Yes.
Sure.
And disagree terribly. Because with your wife, it should not get to a point,
To a point of yes.
where a fist, or rather physical, comes in.
Yes.
And there are a few things that make a situation land, or rather come to that point.
That was
And these things are, where are you getting, what is your source? What is the source of, or rather the foundation of that marriage?
come from.
Where are you getting advices?
Yes.
Where are you getting information? Because women, submission issue about women,
Yes.
it's only altered because of the source of information that they receive. Who is misadvising them
Who
to
are they
do this?
working with?
Yes, who are they working with? But to our ladies out there,
Yes.
submission can make the crooked man, or the most
Terrible
terrible
boy.
man,
Yes.
to come back to line. Just with submission.
Yes.
He can be that bad.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, with your submission, one day, one time,
Yes.
things will turn around. And of course, battled with prayers.
Yes.
But one day, one time, with your submission and love and taking up these and perseverance,
Yes.
things will turn around. I really encourage our women out there that that is the dose to a better marriage, or
Yes.
to a good marriage. Submit to that
Submission.
man. And you, as a man, you have no choice but to love this woman. Why? The Bible says that when two are brought together, they become one.
Yes.
When you look at the mirror, you're seeing your wife in you.
Yes.
When you use your fist, you hit her, you're hitting yourself.
Yes.
Why?
It's your
Because
own body.
you are one.
It's your own body.
Yes, it's your own body.
Yes.
She's your own body.
Yes.
And you can, with love, again, it can lead to this lady to submit.
Yes.
Love her well, teach her on submission,
Yes.
get the sources. And the sources, I always say it is the Bible, the Word of God. The
Yes.
Word of God can never mislead you. It can never push you into being physical. Like when you look at, I've mentioned that you are one body, that's in Ephesians.
Yes.
It's talking about a man being one body.
Yes.
When you're married
Yes.
to your woman.
Yes.
And you opt to protect her,
Yes.
to love her,
Yes.
to take care of her.
Yes.
Looking at Colossians chapter 3 verse 19, the Bible does not tell us, okay, it's to an extent, the Bible tells us not even to be harsh to our women, not even to shout at them, leave alone beating them.
Yes.
It's telling us not to even shout at them,
Yes.
not to be harsh at them. Why? Because they are kind of weaker vessels.
Yes.
And they can only be lifted up by the love that we offer. As much as, of course, in the house there must be differences and all that.
Always there.
And all
They're
that.
always there.
But as a man, when your tempers are high, just walk, take a walk. Yeah, take a walk.
Take a walk.
Take a walk, talk
Walk
to
away.
someone.
Do some
Yes.
walking.
Yes. Call my spiritual father here. I
I'm
call my
telling you.
pastor, yes, and tell him,
Go have
Papa,
some nyama choma somewhere.
yes, all is well. I tell him, Dad, all is well. How is everything?
All is
and,
well.
And the few words that he'll give me, I'll not even tell him that I'm going through this. The few
Yes.
words that he'll give me to make me look calm down and
Yeah.
okay. And he, of course, he'll tell me that God loves you, my
Hallelujah.
son. So when you go home, that temper is down.
there.
Then you can be able to bring your wife close.
Yes.
And tell her, in fact, pick a chocolate, come with it.
Yes.
Tell her that, my wife, you did wrong. But all in all, you're still mine. I love you.
Yes.
And that is my purpose.
Yes.
That is my purpose.
If I may.
Yes, please.
1 second. I've come from a family of, actually from way back. And you find that most of the time there was battery and stuff like that. I don't advocate for it at all. Now, when my own mother realized that it was her tongue that was driving my dad to have a fist fight with her, when she kept quiet, the fist disappeared. As in, it was so automatic. It took years, yes, but at the end of the day, it happened.
Yes.
And like he's saying, once you realize that this is the person I love and this is actually me, then at the end of the day, you will not raise a fist because you cannot beat yourself.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't harm yourself. So at the end of the day, it only, like I started and saying, because we are friends, I will walk away.
Yes.
And the same thing goes in the family. Because this, at the beginning of it all, this is your friend.
Yes.
So you cannot start with a war with your friend. You will walk away. When all the tempers have cooled down, you will come back and you still embrace each other. And that is just how it goes.
Great, great,
Just
great.
to add on it,
All right, okay.
a brief one, to our men who are beating their women. Let them know that it's also a hindrance. It's a hindrance to their
Answered prayers.
It's a hindrance to their prayers to God.
Yes.
It's biblical.
Yes.
It's biblical.
Yes.
It's a hindrance. Their prayers will not, it will not
Penetrate.
ascend.
Yeah.
Just because of a mistake that we can control and we can manage.
Amicably.
Yes.
Wow, wow. I am learning myself here. Thank you very much. Oh, dear viewer, I hope you are also learning from wherever you're getting us from, whatever time it is in your country, we are learning. And should you have a question, why don't you hit that number on your screen and ask? Just call it. You will be helped. Whatever question it is, maybe you are suffering from your husband beating you. And nowadays, even husbands have wives that are beating them. There is always an answer to everything. And as here, some we are basing our arguments on the Bible. Others, I don't know where you get your information from, but I tell you the best source is the Bible. In other words, Ameyo, Mr. Ameyo, I see, are you disturbed in a way? Because, are you okay? What is it you're talking about? I mean, okay, now, let me bring you back. He has talked about a weaker vessel. Yes? You're not married, I know. You want to get married someday? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Don't worry. What do you understand by the term weaker vessel? Does it physically mean, because I am a woman right here in the midst of four of you, am I physically weak? Or what do you understand by that?
I think when we are referring to, or even biblically, when a female species is being referred to as a weaker vessel,
Yes.
does not mean that physically she's weak. It only means that there is some aspect of life that she needs support from a man. That she needs support from a man. But at any single point, a lady should not feel that she's being disadvantaged something in life just because she's being referred to as
A weaker vessel.
a weaker vessel. It is just a term. And I think it goes a long way to give ladies an advantage. That because they are being referred to as a weaker vessel,
Yes.
they'll get overprotected.
Overprotected.
Exactly.
Okay.
If I may return back to the initial question, you were asking about ladies coming home earlier
Yes.
and men coming home
A bit
later.
late.
It is not that men are being allowed to delay away.
Yes.
It is only that because ladies are endangered species, because they are so precious, they are being allowed to be away from danger.
Danger zone.
Danger zone.
Uh-huh.
They are being allowed to be home early so that a man should fight, work hard, even delay there and bring some
Meet home.
meat home. A catch. I'm told from my hand. So in that relation, you realize that because ladies are a precious item, are
Yes.
something important,
A rare jewel.
that's why they're being protected by the word weaker vessel.
Uh-huh.
But in any point,
Okay.
they should not feel advantaged, disadvantaged. They should feel advantage of that term because it gives men more hardship or more exercise out just to ensure ladies get the basic needs and all support they require.
So, in other words, Pastor, what he's saying is it's a blessing in disguise, being called a weaker vessel. Do you agree with what he has said?
Yeah, it is. It's not that I'm objecting what he's saying. What he's saying is valid. But what I want to say, it is undeniably that ladies, in terms of physique, they are weaker vessels.
No, come on. You do not say that.
Yes,
oh God,
that one
Jesus
will deny,
Christ.
but it is undeniable.
Oh well, but not all of them.
I'm not saying all of them.
A bigger percentage.
No,
Mr. Robert, you're spoiling. You are spoiling. No, come on. We have people who are in boxing that are ladies.
Yeah, by the way, it is undeniable.
All right, okay, I give
physique,
up.
In terms of physique, ladies
are weaker than men.
That one
build muscles.
It is that is it.
Okay.
But when we come to this context,
yes,
and in fact, the time Peter was writing this this letter, it was in those ancient days. And for sure, it was a radical teaching,
yes,
or a radical message that Peter had to speak it out at that particular time, because the world that he was living in, or the environment he was living in, did not accept that ladies were to say something in the society.
Yes, they're supposed to keep
like
quiet.
Those in the Roman part of the world, they didn't see a woman as anything. In terms of rights, they didn't have rights. But Peter, I think because of the field of the Holy Spirit of God, he had to speak this one, so that he can be able to take away this notion from the men of that particular time. The way they had perceived ladies in that time,
yes,
women, but they had to speak it out.
Yes.
So physically, I'll say ladies, they are weak.
They're weak.
But now when we come to spiritual matters, God has dispensed His grace on us all. There is where now we can have that equality.
Yes.
Men and ladies, we are the same. And being weak doesn't mean that you are not valuable.
Yeah, sure.
That is where the problem is sometimes. When you say that you are weak, it doesn't mean that you don't
You're
have
inferior
value.
or
that
something.
Nothing like that. It is just the way God has made us, or
yes,
the way God has configured us. That is what is it. But that one does not take away,
yes,
in any way the grace of God, or that value that God has placed in us. So that is why, like now, when we are living outside the kingdom of God,
yes,
that is how we normally take our ladies that they don't have any right. We want to push them. They belong here. They belong there. That, like now, where I come from, they used, like now, when they have killed a cow or something like a meat, there are portions of the meat that ladies were not given to eat.
Ah, really?
Even the chicken, it was meant for males. You see, so you see. But that is how they took it.
Okay.
But as now we are living in this society like this, people who are born again, there is nothing. In terms of physique, let me just repeat again. In terms of physique, you can't compare me with you.
It is well, Pastor. I agree.
But
I throw in the towel.
In terms of spiritual matters,
we can be able to be.
God has graced us. In fact, there's somebody who was saying that in terms of spiritual matters, in fact, the ladies are more stronger than men. It is here to be qualified.
Okay. Mr. Robert, I see you telling Pastor something, and it's like your language is, you guys, your body language is telling me something. Do you agree with what he's saying? Are there some portions of meat, for example, in a cow, a chicken, that a woman is not supposed to eat?
Yes, that's what I was reminding my papa, that we call it imondo.
Imondo.
Yeah, if in Kiswahili.
Hallelujah.
Yes, the gizzard, yeah?
Yeah,
yes,
that one. Whatever he said in English is called a gizzard.
Yes.
Please, dear viewer, yes.
That one has broken many homes in the Western community.
Okay.
Because it's taken us to be for a man. But I just want to echo the words of Pastor here.
Okay.
That definitely ladies are, when it comes to physique, the physical aspect, ladies are weak than men. You've mentioned about boxing. There are women who do boxing. They box with other women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they box with other women.
With another man. For example, you see Mr. Ameyo here, he has a small physique.
They don't box with other. Mr. Ameyo, don't try him. Don't try him. So that is what I was saying.
So I see. No, okay, let me not go to trials.
And that is what I was putting across.
Okay.
And but looking at the spiritual aspect, you see on that paragraph where Peter was in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7.
1 Peter 3:7.
1 Peter 3:7.
Okay.
This is where Peter says that women should be honored as weaker vessels.
Yes.
I want just to pick few words in that paragraph. And there's the word honor. Honored. You see, you cannot honor something that does not have value to you.
Yeah.
And God has put a value to us.
Yes.
And that honor, I think Peter simply meant that God has put a special value upon women. There is a special value upon women.
Great.
And that value is supposed to be respected. It's supposed to be, it's kind of, is putting a woman
Esteemed.
like not really a delicate, but a special species.
Yes.
Something that you value in your life.
Yeah.
For instance, you see something delicate that you need to handle with care.
Yes.
Handle with care.
Yes.
But Peter continues and say that we need to remember that there are hairs, the hairs too, the grace of life. The hairs, they're equal hairs to the grace of life.
Yes.
Your wife and you, we are equal heirs to the grace of life. That simply means that we have equal grace. Only that we need to treat them with the value that they deserve, because there is a honor that they have. And that honor no man can change.
Yes.
Because that is a honor that has been bestowed upon them by God.
Okay.
It's a honor upon them. They're gifted, they're honored, and they are a valuable species. Yes.
Correct? Yes, please. Yes.
I want to interject just for a few. You see, when we are looking at a female gender as a weaker vessel,
Yes.
it is something that is even affecting our current society. That you know, here nowadays we have terminologies like we can do what men can do better. You're getting those terms?
Yes.
Just because
What a man can do, a woman can
what
do better.
a man can do, women can do
Better.
better. This is a psychology or something being raised from the
Yes.
belief that these men think they are more better than us.
Yes.
You're getting it? They are
Yeah.
more stronger than
Yeah.
us. So when we come into words of physique, you will discover in many homes, because of ego, men are not saying they are being battered.
Yes.
But I want to assure you,
They're being
men
battered.
outside there are being battered just because of seeing the physicality that is being described in a man as physical. So outside there they won't speak, they are being battered. But inside the house, these guys are suffering.
Yes.
So we need to get to a point where we are seeing women as not weaker vessels,
Yes.
as science speaks, but seeing women as weaker vessels just because they are being treated as special and precious items
Yes.
or people in the society.
Wow.
If you turn to the physical side, just visit these men, young men in the houses there. Some of the injuries they have are not from outside, are from inside the house.
Oh my God. Right now I feel so special,
Yes,
Pastor.
yes,
You're
ye-
itchy.
I'm itching. Some of these men are being beaten because they are under the influence of something. And some are being beaten and because of some of them they can control themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, they can control themselves
Yeah.
to be able to retaliate. Otherwise, if they retaliate, it will be something else. Yeah.
It is well. Mr. Lionel, do you have something to say about that?
I rest my case.
You rest your case. It is well. Now let us talk something about childlessness. And I want to talk to Lionel. Not childlessness, family planning. Most men do not embrace family planning. As pastor, thinks through, because my director tells me that we are running out of time. Yeah, Pastor, please think through this question. From the society, it is said that sex to a man is a need and not a want. Think through that as Mr. Lionel touches on family planning. Why are men not embracing family planning?
Even from most of the things that we're discussing today, they seem to touch on a lot more on culture
Yes.
than what is now new day currently and what is happening currently. Currently, what is happening is that you find most men, they will actually stay with you. They will keep you. They will tell you you're a side chick.
Yeah.
They will keep you and tell you, no problem, I will take care of you. The day you become pregnant, that is the day he disappears. So you have been with this person. It's not like they did not even discourage you from getting pregnant.
Yes.
But now the thing about it is, as you've said, why are men not embracing
Family planning.
Family planning.
Yeah.
It comes from a cultural view that as a man, you are supposed to have children.
Yes.
These are what the Bible says. They're the spears in your yoke, your wherever. So
children,
yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So because you, at the end of the day, these are the people who are at any particular point in time, you will need help. These are the people who will actually lift you up because they're your children. So because of that particular cultural understanding and even biblical understanding, that at the end of the day, these children are actually mine, and they're the ones who are going to assist me. So why would I go through family planning? But then now, switch and come to the current world. You cannot allow yourself to have more than what you can handle.
Okay.
So they may not be embracing it physically and showing people that they're embracing it physically, but they are doing it.
Okay.
In their own way.
All right. In their own way.
In their own way.
Pastor, talk to us about sex. Is it a need to a man?
Before I take up that one, I just want to add something on what our brother Lionel has said.
Please, in a few words, few words, because we are running out of time. I think
in terms of medical, ladies, they have got a diverse methods.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Diverse methods of family planning, and which are, let me say, reversible. But when you come to a man, the so-called vasectomy,
it's
a done deal. Like you can't have children anymore.
It's a done deal, and that is why most men don't want to embrace
family planning. Okay, so it's because of restrictions. It's something not deliberate, right?
Yeah, it's something because of restrictions.
Choices. They have little choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also because of what some people want in terms of family, the size of the family.
Yeah.
There are guys who will want
a large family. Okay.
And when you find the book of Genesis, I think chapter 1 verse 28, where God said he blessed them and then he told them to multiply.
Yes.
Most of the people, they just take a surface meaning on that in multiply and fill the earth.
Yeah.
But there is something deeper than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Concerning sex, being a need to a man, not possibly to a lady.
Yeah.
It's a hard question.
Yes, please.
And it's
break it down for us.
That is I'll say it is sensitive. The learned friends called it emotive. It's a very sensitive issue.
Okay.
But something that we need to tackle because it is really destroying the lives of many people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because they are entering into it without knowledge or outside the purpose of God. I will say it is a need, yes.
It is a need. Okay.
Let me say it's a need, yes. But this one, personally, on my own personal, this is my personal opinion. It could be because of the chemistry between men and women. And this one is in terms of the hormones. Okay. Men have got a hormone called testosterone, which is concerned with the sex drive. Okay. Something that is called libido. So men have got high of that, the hormone. But ladies, they have got few of it. Okay. So because of this hormone, it is the one that most of the time it pushes men. Okay. To make sex to be like it is a need. Okay. And I read somewhere about Mas Mundo the late. He was talking about the issue of sex. And he was talking about that because we are the seed carrier. Yes. And because we are the seed carrier, always we want to plant. And because we want to plant, that is why sex to us as men. Okay. It is always a need. Yeah, it is always a need. It is well. Yeah. That is what he was trying to put it. Okay. And when now it comes to that, there's something you talked about infertility between we normally blame women. That is also where it comes. Okay. Because when men, the testosterone, it is the hormone that causes them the maturity of the sperm cell. So when you have fear of testosterone as a man, the majority of your sperm cell will be incomplete.
Uh-huh.
And that is where you can be infertile.
Okay.
And then you blame it to
your wife.
To your wife. So as my brother was saying it is because of lack of knowledge sometimes.
Yes.
We do impose these things. This is a lady's problem.
Yes.
It is not our problem.
Great.
So most of the time it is because of not having knowledge.
Wow.
And that is why the Bible says, my people perish because of lack of
knowledge.
Thank you so much.
And that marks the end of our interaction session this day. I hope you have learned. That is from a doctor's perspective, by the way. He's on the medical field. So I ask of you to please trust his words. Thank you very much, my panelists. There's a lot more that we can talk about men, and we can never finish. Maybe if we say up until December 31st, but I'm sure you don't have that time. But anyway, thank you for giving us your time. Thank you, my panelists, Pastor Job Kim Wanyonyi, Mr. Robert Ageng'o, Mr. Sylvester Ameyo, Mr. Lionel Wandera. Thank you so much, dear viewer, and everybody that made this program a success. Our technical crew, the hospitality industry, the pastors in the house, everybody. And my name is Veronica, and on behalf of the church leadership, under the able leadership of Reverend Bernard Bwala, together with Mom Pastor Lydia Bwala, I want to say thank you so very much. We meet after a fortnight for another interaction session. Stay blessed, keep safe, wear a mask, and observe social distance. God bless you.